Conscious Conversations Podcast. My name is Marieke, and today I would like to speak about aligning our energy. Aligning our energy in the present moment, as well as aligning our energy for the future, as well as aligning our energy so that we can release any energetic accumulation from the past. So our energetic body, our physical body, our emotional, our mental, and our spiritual, it's really a vibration, a frequency of light, sound, particles. And as we move through life, we pick up energy, and it's always really good to find out ways and tools and remember within ourselves how to release this energy, as well as how to manifest things that our soul desires in our life. So I always go back to the breath. Our breath is that tool, that beautiful mechanism where we can move energy, we can calm our frequency, we can balance our nervous system. And as soon as we are in touch with our breath, we can start to connect our breath with our heart energy. And in that way, our heart starts to open up, feels safe, feels acknowledged, and our soul self can sink into our heart space. And connected by our breath, connected with our breath, our heart can open up and start to communicate with us in a beautiful divine way, where our intuition becomes very strong. We know how to navigate, and in that way our brainwave activity can just gently slow down and sink into our heart space. So I always visualize it as our physical body being the conduit of energy, and our breath supporting our heart space, wherefore our brain can sink into our heart space and optimize the communication that we have within ourselves. When our brain waves can slow down, then we can also step away from the doing mode and can more be in the being mode, as well as in the receptive mode. If we want to align our energy in the present moment, it's really important that we connect with our breath so that we can create an inner stillness while all the vibrations still happen within and out. But you become the observer, the stillness within the motion, the movement. And from that stillness, you can feel into your physical body what it needs at that particular moment. You can maybe take a couple of breaths to have more grounding and bring your energy, connecting it really beautifully with the earth. Therefore, your alignment, your energy from your root chakra, from your root, your perineum, can start to rise up through the core of your being, that central pillar of light that moves through you, and support your heart function, support your brain function, and of course all the organs in between as well. And as we use our breath to align, we can start to support our body, the posture that we hold even within our physical body. And when we start to breathe so consciously that we can hold our physical body in a beautiful alignment, then that tends to support our life force energy, supports the flow of energy, as well as we are able then to start to release blockages just by very gently starting to move and breathe into it. But their breath, our posture, how we connect with our heart, I find it's always the most beautiful first step that we can use to align with ourselves in this present moment. And if we then want to align from this present moment into the alignment for the future, then we can start to use our intention setting, our visualization, and start to project our energy into the future from that present moment in the now. So when we connect with our breath, we move our breath beautifully through our body, we open up our heart space, and then we can feel within our being that desire that wants to be manifested into life. And that desire, when it comes from our heart space, from our soul self, then is always a desire that is good for us, but also for the greater good of mankind, of this earth. Our desires that come from a spiritual and energetic alignment are always very heart-centered. It's a beautiful, beautiful desire to manifest and work with. And as we then feel that desire within our heart space. We feel that desire in our being. Then we can start to get in touch with the flavor of that energy, of that what we want to manifest into the future. So I often project my energy forwards, like maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, even sometimes 5, 10 years, or even beyond. And I project my energy into the future, and I ask my energetic body how it would like to feel at that time, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as well as physically. How would I like to feel in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year from now? And when you then get a sensation, a feeling, a vision, a picture of how you want to feel, it's always really good to write it down as well. But most important is to start to breathe with it, and start to breathe with your body, your physical form, as if it already has happened. And when we can start to project our energy into the future and tune in to that future manifestation, that what our heart or soul desires, and then feeling it within our form, within our physical body, as if it already has happened, then we can also start to ask the questions: what do we need to do to prepare ourselves, to raise our frequency, to what do we have to set in place to get ourselves there in that space? Because that potential, any desire that you have, that potential already lies within you. It's just now about how are you holding yourself, how are you creating certain circumstances within your life, even how are you creating spaces for yourself so that you are supported and that you can create a momentum forward to manifest and to pull in that desire, that energy of that manifestation. Because everything that you desire and want to manifest in life, in essence, in energetic form, it already has happened. It's just about pulling in that timeline and aligning yourself with that timeline. So putting in the work that is asked of you to raise your frequency, to teach yourself to activate certain things within yourself, to prepare yourself, to then be able to hold that frequency within your own body, within your vessel of light, within your energetic body. And as we are speaking here about alignment and aligning our energy, as we align ourselves in the present moment, in this moment of the now, where we can take our breaths and just have that moment of stillness where everything just continues to happen around you, and creating that stillness within, so that you are the stillness within the storm, how we can see it, that everything can constantly move, but you're the observer, and therefore you're able to navigate, feel your intuition, navigate with clarity. And from that present moment in the now, we can then start to look at the past, and we can, with an observant mind, without any judgment, we can look into the past, into our timeline, and trace it back to any moments in our past where there was an energetic accumulation, a traumatic event, an experience that wasn't fully processed or integrated energetically. We notice this by having memories, by having certain kind of thought forms coming in. Our physical body also will tell our stories of the past. Any place in your physical body where you hold tension, those are areas to look at if you would like to release certain energetic accumulations from the past. And we can do this by aligning with the present moment and breathing into our core of our being, opening up our heart space, letting our brain waves slow down, letting our brain be supported by the heart function. And if you would like to know more about that, the HeartMath Institute in California has studied heart coherency, and it's a beautiful, beautiful way of looking at the science as well of how our body, our breath, our heart, our brain is connected with one another, and how it influences our entire energy field. So as we are in the present moment, then we can look into the past, and with our breath we can start to breathe underneath any accumulated energy. We can start to gently breathe underneath. Even when there's trauma within our physical body, we want to find where's our body holding that trauma. Where is it located? In our spine, our nervous system, the back of our neck, the shoulder blades, our abdomen, our hips. Our physical body stores all kinds of information. And when we notice when we're tense or tight anywhere, or even pain, or we've had injuries, then we can start to use our breath to move very gently underneath that sensation and slowly kind of lift that sensation up, as if you can energetically start to hold it in your hands. And by creating with your breath, with your heart energy, a flow of safety within the body tends to be more willing to start to let go of any accumulated energy, even if it's to do with trauma or very intense experiences, even if it's to do with past lifetime energy that has been passed over. We can start to breathe as if our breath is made of feathers, of water, of clouds, and slowly let our breath move underneath it with our intention, and visualizing this energy slowly starting to lift up and out. And at the same time, you can start to make statements of how you would like to feel. So in that way, we can bring our future manifestation, our future desire of how we would like to feel into that healing of the past, and simultaneously work from the moment, the present moment of the now. We can simultaneously work on manifesting and creating that frequency that we would like to feel within ourselves in the future. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months from now, 6 months, a year from now. And simultaneously, we can, in the present moment of the now, we can start to release any accumulated energy from the past. And I find healing of our timeline really comes with our alignment. How do we align ourselves in this present moment? How do we use our breath, our heart energy? How do we support our brain function, our nervous system? And all that is connected, of course, then to our digestive system, our vagus nerve, our thyroid, our thymus. And all these functions support each other. So if we become incredibly conscious and observant of the present moment, and constantly taking these beautiful conscious breaths, then life becomes more enjoyable. We become the alchemist, the one that is in control over our energy, so that we can start to actively co-create over that. We are constantly running after ourselves to release energy, to heal from any trauma that has happened. And many of us, we feel that life is kind of happening for us and we're just running after the facts. And by becoming incredibly present in this moment with our breath, with our heart energy, then the brain activity starts to slow down and we feel a sense of peace, a sense of calmness within. And our breaths can become the supporter. I always love to align myself by taking these beautiful breaths, rising, getting in touch with that breath underneath the belly button, and then rising that breath all the way with a visualization to my crown. And on the exhale, letting that breath sink down the back of the body, down the spine, and out of the tailbone. And if it becomes a second nature, if it becomes just normal for us to start to breathe this way, then whenever we are not so grounded, we will notice it in our tailbone. So it's just about setting a couple of perimeters for our breath, where we get a habit of breathing full body breaths, where you feel and visualize your breath moving through your entire body, rising up, and then on the exhale, sinking back down. Once you're used to this kind of breathing, then anytime when you move a little bit out of your alignment, you will notice it right away, because your physical body will tell you. You might actually, if you bump into things, that will tell you as well that you're not as grounded, you're not as aligned at that moment in time. I used to actually be very clumsy, and I worked with animals. I was always bruised everywhere. It just became that normal for me. And since I've been doing the beautiful breathing technique of the quantum touch, and then went into other breathing techniques as well, I've noticed that I actually don't bump into anything anymore. And if I now bump into something, then I immediately know. Or even if I kind of brush the wall a little bit close with my shoulder, I will know right away. It's like, okay, I have to center myself again with this breath. And from that present moment, I can work on any manifestation, any intention setting, visualization for the future, as well as releasing any accumulated energy from the past, um, all the way into past lifetime as well. So if you would like to speak about this more, I always offer 20 minutes free phone calls on my website, consciousquantum.com. And I offer different kind of services, energy healing services in person as well as over Zoom, where we work on activating your inner alchemist, your inner healer, where you are empowered and in control over your energy system. So feel free to reach out at any time by phone, by email. My email address is info@consciousquantum.com, and I always look forward to hearing from you. Love, light, and blessings to all of you. Till next time.